beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands up, keep your chin tucked. It's the one and only Ghost with the shadow in the front. And we are doing one of these late night after hours streams because I cannot sleep. I really got to get that checked out, bro. And hold on 1 second. I know this is working. I got my new mic in the mail coming Monday. So this has been extremely loud, bro. This has been, I don't know why it's been extremely loud. Hold on. Yeah, that's too loud. Okay, hold on. All right, now let's check that. It's still too loud. All right, let's check that. What's going on, Nostalgic? Hold on 1 second, my boy. I'm just checking my audio, bro. Hold on. Is my audio better now? It's too loud, my boy. Damn. All right. Let's see right here. All right. Hey, how does that sound? That sounds better. I have a new microphone coming in on Monday, so this ain't gonna be a problem anymore, bro. Which one? That one? Oh, yo, I build PCs, bro. Look, let me show you the one I built. This is the one I use. You see? Hold on. Let me get this back over here. Okay, get that. Take that off and then go back over here. Hit the preset. I think that's better. Let me get it there. All right. Yeah, I have a new microphone coming in on Monday. I can't wait because you always wanted one. I build PCs, man, and I got enough parts where I could sell one for cheap, man. I just got to go over the biggest thing with with PCs, right, is compatibility. It's cool because you could damn near, as long as the motherboard is compatible with the CPU and the GPU doesn't really matter. The GPU doesn't matter. Most things don't matter. As long you want a good power supply, but your case doesn't matter. Certain parts really don't matter. It's just there's a few parts that they have to be compatible, number one, but not only compatible, you don't want a piece of crap, you know what I mean? Because the PCs are similar to cars. They're very similar to cars, whereas they call it a bottleneck. So if you have a very good CPU, but you don't got a good GPU, it's gonna affect, especially if you start playing with higher settings and higher graphics. So, but I could look around. I know I have a lot of extra parts, man. So if you're interested, just let me know. I mean, I would have to build it and everything, and then find out a way. But yeah, man. I just decided to do a stream, bro. I couldn't sleep at all, bro. I couldn't sleep. I hate it when I can't sleep, man. I hate it, honestly. It sucks, man. Insomnia sucks. And I said, man, I'll just do a quick stream. And I thought my microphone was gonna come in today. I'd have did it earlier, but yeah, I'll just deal with this crappy microphone for another 2 days. But then on Monday, I'll be good. I ain't gotta worry about, because the one I'm getting is a more professional microphone. I already upgraded my camera and everything. I just got to do that because I'm sick and tired of every time I go live, bro. The volume button is underneath here. So if I grab my mic and I'm talking to y'all, like if I try to move or something, right? A lot of times I grab it and the volume goes either up or down, or I mute my. It's just piece of shit, man. It's crap. Why would you put the volume knob there anyway? yeah, man, just let me know. I got an email on my channel. I have an email on my channel, shadowghostboxing@gmail.com. I check it periodically, so you can send me an email there or whatever. But anyway, man, hey man, what the hell is going on with the world, man? Oh my goodness, bro. Yo, I mean, I know crazy stuff always happens in this world, but damn, man. Do you hear about the inmates that escaped? It's like 10 inmates escaped and from New Orleans. Yo, and the way they escaped is crazy as hell. How do 10 people escape from like 10 people, bro? Not one. We're not talking one guy that's like, all right, well, I'm gonna plan this and I'm a no. 10 people, bro. 10 people. And you know what's crazy too? Yeah, bro. You know what's so crazy about it, bro? It's so hilarious to listen to these people's excuses of like why it happened. Because you got the reporters in there, right? The reporters are asking them questions like, how do 10 people escape from prison? Or is it a jail or prison? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think it's a jail. I don't know. All I know, I was watching it and they were like, I think there's like 6 or 7 remaining left. They caught 4 quickly. One was still inside the jail. One they caught in public. But yo, they really want to catch these guys because one of the guys that escaped is a danger. I mean, they're all dangerous, but one of them is a real dangerous guy. Real dangerous guy. They contacted the family because I guess I take it he's a murderer. They contacted the family and they actually got the family out of there. They got the protective custody with the family. So he's a dangerous guy. They don't want this man in the streets, bro. And they taking it seriously because they got the FBI, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. They got all these, man, when they call more than one agency to look for you, yeah, and plus they say they're using facial recognition. So when I heard that, I'm like, man, these people already got technology, like probably for me, you, everything. If they wanted to catch me, they probably really can. And I've never really been in trouble, but with facial recognition, look, think of that. That's crazy. That's how they caught the one dude. They said they caught him with a facial recognition hiding behind a car. Hiding behind a car. That's crazy technology. Oh, they ain't gonna, hell no. But yo, I was laughing during the press conference, right? Because like you, me, and anyone else, when you hear 10 people escape from prison or jail, the first thing that comes to your mind is, how do 10 people do that? Right? Like, how did they all just leave, right? And I was laughing because the excuse they gave was they had one person. They had what's going on, Tycho? Tycho, did you hear about the people that escaped from the prison? It's hilarious, bro. They said that the one reporter was getting loud with them. They were getting loud with them. Like, yo, just like you would think they were the supervisors. The reporters are getting real big and bold with the jail people. They're like, yo, these murderers and killers are out on the street. How the hell do 10 people escape? And then they show the video. These 10 dudes, bro, literally went up to the door and just started shaking the door, broke the door down and walked right out the jail. Nobody was watching them, nothing. And the excuse is somebody went to go get something to eat. So you telling me you got one person, bro? One person watching all these dangerous convicts. And I think it was a female too, bro. A lot of people getting fired, man. A lot of people getting fired. And if people get hurt, oh, man. They already got one family out. They contacted the family because this guy is a killer or whatever. And they told the family, like, look, this guy escaped. Don't worry. We're coming to your house right now. We're going to get you. That's crazy, bro. I don't know what they did, bro. And then I was looking at the Diddy trial. That's crazy. And then what happened to Tory Lanez, bro? It's crazy what's going on, bro. So the Diddy trial, I'm looking at the Diddy trial, and I'm like, hold on a second, bro. I'm not here to say, look, I'm not saying anybody's innocent, and you probably a piece of shit person, bro. Okay, he's probably a piece of shit. But I already knew what they were gonna do. Did you see that? Did they have texts from Cassie that say it paints her? It doesn't paint her as a victim. Okay, the text that they showed in court. Remember the video where he's beating up Cassie in the hotel, right? They showed texts from the following week. The following week. And she's like, I love you. And she's like, we can't have another night like how we did on Friday, LOL. And so Diddy's apologizing in the text, like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put my hands on you. You know, fuck Friday. I don't even want to think about it, right? And then you look at these texts and you see that for 10 years, him and her were on and off. They were in a relationship for over 10 years. And it's a weird relationship, right? And to be honest with you, I've been in relationships like that. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a relationship. Have you ever been in a relationship with, put it like this. Have you ever had a woman in your life that you know deep down inside that you shouldn't be with her, right? You know you shouldn't be with her. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for her. But y'all can't stay away from each other. I don't know if you've ever, I've had a few relationships like that. And to be honest with you, it's nothing but trouble. It's nothing but trouble. You need to end it or whatever. But that's how their relationship is. They can't stand each other, but they can't be without each other. And even when he was dating someone else and she was dating her now husband, right? They're showing texts in court that they're still talking to each other. Like, I love you and let's meet up. And it doesn't paint her in a picture like I got my ass. Bro, I'm gonna tell you like this. They could say that you could switch it on a victim all you want, but when a woman tells me that a man is beating her ass and a man's doing all this crazy stuff, right? The moment you have an ability to get away, then get away. Then get away. When you are safe and you are now contacting that person, telling them, I love you, I want to meet up, bro, you're not a victim, bro. I'm sorry. You're not a victim. I'm not saying he should put his hands on you, but yo, you contacting him, you texting him, saying things like, I love you. I know we just can't be boyfriend and girlfriend, but I love you. Like, why are you texting him that, bro? And you know he crazy? Come on, man. I bet you most of the people in those freak offs wanted to be in those freak offs. At least 90% of them. All these people they're painting to make it seem like it was such a bad thing. Yo, they got footage of a freak off, right? Not the actual, like, before it happens. I think I played it here on this channel. And they struck me. They struck me and I had to take it down. I'll laugh. Maybe I think P. Diddy's legal team got a damn software that can. But I played it one time. The guy had it's not the freak off itself. It's what's happening before the freak off. This guy has a video. This guy has a cell phone, right? And it shows they're about to hop on a ferry. They're all the cars are parked, right? I don't know where they're going, but they're going somewhere for a freak off. All the cars are parked. There's a ferry, like there's a big ferry, and there's a lot of banging girls, man, mad women, and a lot of men too, right? But a lot of women, right? Just different younger women, middle women, like, you know, but mostly young women, like 20s or whatever. You can see a few of them look like teens, and I mean, there's a lot of them there, right? And it's like they're going on like a damn field trip, bro. It looks like you remember when you was in school and you went on a field trip and everybody just was lining up and shit? That's what it looked like to me. It's like they were all excited. Like, oh, we're gonna. And then they all line up and you see Diddy and his security guards walk around and they're like with an open bag. They're like this. They take the bags out and they're like, throw your phone in there. They're all your, and they got patted down. Like, throw your phones in here. You'll get your phones back. There ain't no filming, ain't no nothing, right? So let me ask you this. If you're a victim and you go into a party, what party you ever been to, bro? Where before you get into the door, they go, hey, Shadow, come here. They pat me down and they say, give me your phone. Give me your ID. Give me your phone. Okay. The moment you say that to me, bro, I'm gone, bro. Nah, some weird activity is about to go on that you don't want me to have my phone. You don't want me to have my ID. So all these people still participated. I mean, I don't think it's gonna work for him. All I'm saying is this, man. The media really. I'm not saying the dude's a good guy. I'm not. I'm saying like the shit they're showing with Cassie, bro. She's texting the man, "I love you." Oh, this is way after she got beat up, bro. She's contacting him. Women love to like some certain women, yo. They love to switch this shit around. And I'm not saying the man's any better, but yo, man, at the end of the day, bro, if somebody's beating your ass and somebody's really physically assaulting you or sexually doing whatever, right, and you're gone and you're safe, why are you contacting that person, bro? Weeks later, talking about I love you, I want to meet up. Why? But you're the victim, right? Crazy, man. It don't. It don't, Tycho. And I'm not giving a dude a pass, bro, but I don't like you know what really irks me, man? It even irks me in the boxing community too. Just in life. In life. I just don't like it. I don't like it when a group of people try to attack one person, whether the person's guilty or not. I don't like it. You make me want to turn against you when like so like if there's a dude and nobody likes him, right? Maybe I don't like him. Maybe I don't like him. You don't like him. Nostalgic don't like him, right? Fine. And somebody's like, yo, I'm gonna go beat his ass, and you're like, all right. And then Nostalgic's like, yo, I'm gonna beat his ass, and then like 5 people are like, nah, let's go jump him. Shadow, come on, come with us. I'm gonna be like, no, nah, is enough of you. Like, okay, he might be an asshole. I'm not doing that. But then everybody just gets on the dude, and the media does it. And even here on boxing, you ever notice like certain channels, like they would get, it doesn't happen a lot anymore. But like when somebody has beef with somebody, that's why I don't go on a lot of channels anymore. I don't. I just do me. I do me. I go live whenever I go live. But a lot of times guys would have beef, and then you got people that's getting involved, and it's not real beef, bro. It's online shit. But you got people that are getting involved that have nothing to do with the situation, and next thing you know, you got 5, 3, 4 channels going at one guy. It almost makes you think like, why are you doing that? What like so I that makes me feel a certain way. And I see what they're doing with Diddy. I'm not saying he's a nice guy, but come on, bro. Come on, bro. They're making it seem like this. So if this dude is such a monster, how the hell did he run rampant for over 20 something years? Y'all gave him the key to the city. It doesn't sound right to me, bro. And all these people that got money, they're going, yo, money don't mean nothing no more. They got Epstein, they got Diddy, they got the dude that was doing this sitcom thing. He got like 10, 15 years. You know who's next? I'm gonna tell you right now. I know for a fact who's next because his name keeps popping up. His name popped up in the Diddy trial. His name popped up in Tory Lanez, and that's Jay-Z. They're saying Jay-Z is behind the Tory Lanez thing. Yo, did you see what the Tory Lanez thing? You know what they've been saying with Tory Lanez, right? But there's a lot of things that they're not telling you about the Tory Lanez. I don't know if you've seen this, right? So you know Tory Lanez got stabbed, right? And you know that when he got stabbed yesterday or the day before, they did the little press conference, right? And in the press conference, they said that a guy from the New York Post, he came up there, but he had been investigating the case for like 6 months. Now, I don't know if he was paid to do it, or I don't know if he did it on his own. It don't matter. It don't matter. The fact of the matter is he was investigating it, right? He said that he found evidence that, you know, he didn't shoot Megan Thee Stallion, right? And then they were going to bring it, and then boom, next thing you know, Tory gets, you know, stabbed up, right? But that's not the crazy thing. The crazy thing is Jay-Z's name pops up again, and his name is in the Diddy case. So the Megan Thee Stallion had this woman with her, and I need to find her name, but she's not a lawyer, bro. She's not. She said she's a lawyer, but she's like more in the music industry. But this is how you know it's Jay-Z. So this woman was in the Megan Thee Stallion trial with Tory Lanez and shit like that, right? And she got a lot of notoriety from that. So when he got locked up, they did a what do you call it? A show when it's about your real life, like a real life show. Like Jersey Shore, when they follow you around, a reality show, right? Here goes the crazy thing. In the reality show, there's 12 episodes. Every episode, I shit you not, is titled after a Jay-Z song. Reasonable Doubt, 99 Problems. Every single episode is a name from Jay-Z off an album. And they're saying that he is behind the whole shit with Tory Lanez, and his name popped up in the Diddy case. And I'm telling you, he's going to be the next one, bro. The money is not going to save these dudes anymore, man. If they can get Epstein, who had presidents, bro, ex-presidents visiting the island, bro, that money can only, you would think, I would think Diddy would never get in trouble. When you got billions and billions of dollars, or at least a billionaire, you think you just pay everything. But I guess, I don't know, man. I think they're trying to make a point with these people. But he's going to be the next one, bro. Yeah, a lot of time. Well, especially if it's anything to do with assault or physical, it's what it is, Tycho? Remember when Ryan Garcia said he had mental illness? Remember? And Ryan Garcia was like the first fighter to come out and say, I think, as far as I remember, he was the first fighter to come out and say, yo, I need a break. I'm not doing okay mentally, right? You remember when he did that? When he did that, you had two types of people. You had the one people that was calling him a bitch, they were calling him being soft and everything, right? But then you had other people that, when you say I'm dealing with something, and I know, because I have PTSD. I have PTSD, bro. Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate you, brother. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you, man. Thanks. Yeah, man. I got monetized. When did I get monetized? I got monetized a couple months ago. The ironic thing is I got monetized on a stream where mad dudes was talking shit about me. Mad dudes. They were just, and then I just got an email after that and was like, yo, you got enough watch hours or whatever. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. But remember when Ryan Garcia came out and said that he had mental illness, right? You had some people that was like, yo, that's a bitch shit, that's some soft shit, right? But then you had other people, they know when it comes to mental illness, they're kind of chill, because you don't know if it's real or not, right, Tycho? You remember, we don't know. What if he really is don't want to live type shit? I have PTSD, I have anxiety, I have depression, so I know. So I was one of the ones that was like, bro, chill, bro. If the kid is saying that he's got mental ill or whatever, I'm not gonna say nothing. But then you got other people that was like, yeah, you bitch, you soft. It's the same thing like that, Tycho, when it comes to men with the women shit, like Diddy and shit like that. Because there are times when the man is innocent, but who's gonna be the first one to say to her, nah, you lying? You're gonna look like an asshole if you be like, I don't believe her, and it really did happen to her. That's why people are so, when it comes to women and men, it's almost like when a woman goes to the police, they almost have to take her word for it until they find out otherwise. Because what if they say, nah, ma'am, this isn't that serious, and then something happens to her? Or what if somebody says I have mental illness, and then that person actually does something to themselves? You see what I'm saying? Ryan was going through a lot, but you had a lot of people that really didn't want to hear that, though. You had a lot of people that, they kind of, I've always thought Ryan had mental illness for a while, even before he came out and said that. He's definitely has something wrong with him characteristically, where he flies off the handle Cause Ryan, there's like 8 different Ryans, bro. Seriously. I've seen the calm Ryan. I've seen I've seen the crazy throwing out racial slurs Ryan. I've seen there's like so many sides of the Ryan, it's not even funny, man. And I don't know. What do y'all think about the whole Canelo thing, man? Everyone's saying they thinking Canelo is gonna lose now. Everybody's saying it. T.O. saying it. All these other guys saying it. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I don't think most of these people that are saying it really think Canelo is gonna lose. I don't think that. I don't think that. But I really do think there's a lot of people that look at him fighting William Skull and they look at how lackluster the fight was, and then they see Bud get in the ring and they're like, oh no, like, and I'm thinking in my head, like, you do know Bud was always the same height, right? Like, you do know Canelo was the same height last year than he was, right? Their height never changed. Like, we've been known their heights. So only when they stand next to each other, people, oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Oh, Bud's a little taller. Bud's a little bigger. Okay. And then they look a lot into the William Skull thing, right? Yeah, Canelo he does look slower. He does. But I don't think Canelo's been in his prime for a couple years now. I don't even think, call me crazy. I don't think Canelo was in his prime when he fought Caleb Plant. When he ran through 168, I don't think he was in his prime. I think he was already declining. I think I'm being dead ass with you. I think Canelo was already declining when he got to 168. You don't see a massive difference in the way Canelo fights when he fought at 168 and when he fought Triple G. Like, to me, my favorite Canelo of all time is the one that fought Triple G. That's my favorite Canelo. He's he was slick and he had a way better defense. Now he kind of like has just one defense. He just keeps his hands up. He keeps up the high guard, right? But when he fought Triple G, he was more defensively sound to me. You could change, you could say it's age, or you could say, I'm just telling you what I see. I could be wrong, but it goes to show you how good he is, because I think when he ran through 168, I don't think he was in his prime. I think he was already declining. I think that when he moved up in weight, he got a little older and decided, it's less, think about it, bro. It's logically, it's smart. First of all, think about it, right? So you're at a lower weight class, right? You're able to move around more and you're younger. So you're going to be more defensive. You move around, right? He's not the only one that's done this before. Laura has done this. He moves up in weight. Now he's getting a little older and now he more relies on the high guard. Still got good D. Still hard to knock him out. Still got great chin, right? But yeah, I think that, if people want to get mad when I say you can get mad, I'm actually giving them props. I'm basically saying the man ran through 168 and he wasn't even in his prime. That's basically what I'm telling you, in my opinion. And I think even a declining Canelo is still one of the best fighters in the world. One of the best fighters in the world. And I think a lot of people are looking. I do understand something about Bud, which I'm going to get into in a second, that I do think is dangerous. Okay. I do think it's dangerous. And I think if it came down to if it was any other fighter, I wouldn't be saying this. But because it's Bud, I'm going to say it. Hey, what's going on, Hawker? What's going on, Sergeant? Appreciate y'all for being here. If it was anybody else, bro, I would say forget it. But what I'm gonna say about Crawford is I think he's one of the rare ones, bro. And I think if you're gonna be careful, you need to be careful. But before I get into that, yeah, I don't think Canelo's been in his prime for a minute. And I think he ran through 168 and the man wasn't even in his prime. And I know you have first off, bro, let's make it clear. I don't T.O. says one thing, one down. I don't even care about his but just to say something about T.O. real quick. Let's not forget T.O. is still young-minded and emotional-minded. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Eddie Reynoso and them, he was going to be in a training camp with them, right? For the Barboza fight, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they come out of nowhere and say, we're not going to train you? And according to what T.O. said, maybe they told him afterwards. I don't know. I do remember what I saw specifically. T.O. was like, yo, they didn't even give me a reason. They just said that, we're not going to train you. He was like, all right, fine. I'll train with my father. But, got to keep that in mind. He might be feeling a certain way about that. But still, I still think it makes T.O. look weird. T.O. just says crazy. I didn't like I said, bro, I don't really pay. I'm starting not to really. I really don't want to speak on a lot of shit with T.O. because I'm really frustrated because for months, and you guys know, for months, I've been saying this whole shit was not good for business. And people were telling me, oh, no, this is a good strategy. This is promotion. Everyone's talking about him. And I'm like, no. I saw Richardson Hitchens' interview 6 months ago, 7 months ago. And in that interview, Richardson Hitchens is saying that it don't matter whether he think he racist or not. Like, I don't want to fight him and give him a title shot. And then you got people in the chat that was like, yo, black fighters shouldn't fight T.O. And I came out and I did a live and people got mad. And I said, bro, the truth of the matter is it don't matter how I feel. We live in a different world today. I said that months ago. I've been saying it for 8 months now, bro. Ever since he did the monkey thing. I've been saying that. We live in a different world. It's cancel culture, bro. It don't matter whether I agree with it, you agree with it, or whatever. They took Ryan Garcia out of the boxing game, bro. They took Ryan. They just now reinstated him. But when Undisputed was out for PC, right? It wasn't even out on consoles. I remember, like, I got that game quickly. I signed up to be one of the people that play it in beta, right? But there wasn't enough room. So I didn't get the spot to be a beta tester, but I did get an open spot to test the second version of the game when it came out. And it's just a little version of it. They give it to you. There's a link. You download it. You have access to certain fighters and you play it, right? And I remember I was picking Ryan Garcia. And then I bought the game. And then Ryan Garcia did his little racist rant. And the WBC took him off the game. And the game lost millions of dollars, right? Do I agree with it? No, but that's what happened, right? So when T.O. was doing this stupid shit, I was like, bruh, I already see it a mile away. This shit is not good for business. This shit is not going to be helpful for him. And now look what's happening. That's why I'm frustrated. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because I've been saying this for 8 months, bro. We don't live back in it's like using an old model, bro. It's like an old model car. Like, we make newer models now. That's an old model. The race shit don't work no more, bro. I'm sorry, T.O., but you're using the people around you should talk to you, brother. And on top of that, you go around saying, well, I don't know why people thinking I'm racist. Why do you think that is? Even if you think you're playing or not. We live in a different world. It's a different time. Now you learning. Now you learning that it's not helping you financially. It's not. Just because people talk about you doesn't mean. That's another thing. That's a narrative. Everyone's talking about you, Shadow. Yeah, that's not always a good thing, bro. Everyone was talking about Kanye when the Jews took his money and he lost sponsorships. Everyone was talking about him. And he literally lost, I don't know how many millions of dollars, bro. Right? Now, do I agree with it? Well, that's another thing too. People bring up freedom of speech and it's like they don't understand freedom of speech. I really think a lot of people don't understand freedom of speech. They don't. Because to be honest with you, I kind of misunderstood what freedom of speech was. You're allowed to say whatever you want. Nobody's going to stop you from saying whatever you want. But there's consequences to what you say. You could go to your boss and say, man, you're a prick, man. Eat shit and die. You're allowed to say that. Ain't nobody going to stop you from saying that. Now, if he fires you, you could tell your girl whatever you think about her. Go ahead. Talk greasy. Treat her like shit. Freedom to say whatever you want. If she leaves you, she leaves you. If you have a sponsor and they want you to live a certain way, or they want you to act a certain way to represent their product because they're paying you, go ahead. You can say whatever you want. We don't got to continue paying you though. I've been saying this for months, bro. Anyway, bro, I in a way, bro, it's gonna sound fucked up. I'm low key kind of happy. T.O. is starting to realize, see, bro, this ain't financially good for you, bro. I don't know if they took his belt away or not, but when you have the WBA, and you could say you agree with it or not, it don't matter, bro. When they have the ability, if they feel just like the boxing game, they felt like Ryan Garcia wasn't a good model for the game. He was on the cover of the game. All right, think about that. He's on the cover. And WBC went up to them and said, nah, bro, take him out. If you don't take him out, we're going to withdraw all of the fighters that we gave you for the WBC. So freedom of speech has penalties all day, every day. So yeah, you can say what you want. Just understand we live in a different world. So if you lose money, people don't want to fight you. People build these little coalitions. It might be stupid, but it is what it is, bro. But going back to Canelo, Canelo, like I said, I don't think he was in his prime when he took over 168. I think he was already declining. I think that he had already changed his style up, right? Now, you want to call it whether he was getting older or whether he was getting slower or whatever. I think it's a mixture of both. We saw it with Laura, like I said, you know, he moved up in weight. And when he fought Triple G, to me, that was the best version of him, right? He was really defensive, moving his waist around, moving around. I think he threw more punches. He had more higher activity, right? Now he just relies on the high guard for defense, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. He's still very defensively sound. But I just don't think he's in his prime no more. And I don't think he's been in his prime for years. And even with him not being in his prime, I still think he's one of the best fighters in the world. And I don't understand how people can look at the Skull fight and go, oh, now Bud beats him. I mean, if that's your opinion, that's fine. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying he can't beat Canelo. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying all these guys that are changing their mind is like, what did you see? What? First off, Bud Crawford was the same height he is now back in 2024, back in 2023. He did not grow smaller or grow taller. Same thing goes with Canelo, the same height. So why did you have to see them stand close to nose to go, oh, man, Bud's taller? Like, bro, y'all don't look up the tail of the tape or look up that, like you don't know. Everyone knew what the height was. So then they look at, oh, look, he's bigger now. Okay, well, we already knew that. We knew that. He's training to be at 168, right? And let's not forget the main factor in all this. Bud ain't gonna fight like William Skull. Bud's not gonna do that. So that's another thing. People look at Canelo like, oh, look, he didn't want to cut the ring off or he was slower or whatever. Fine. What is Bud gonna do that? Is Bud gonna go in the ring and go be all evasive like that for all 12? I mean, we don't know. Shit, Jermell did it once he got hit and felt the power, but I don't think Bud will do that. No. So that doesn't mean nothing to me. Also, Bud moved up to 154 and styles make fights. And he struggled with a man that had 10 fights, bro. 10 fights. And some people think Bud lost. I think Bud won. Some people think he lost. So now he's going to skip. That was 154, right? Moved up from 147. Hey, let's not forget where he started. 140, right? 140, 147, where he was knocking all his opponents out, right? And you want to get into the resume all you want, but let's not forget where 99% of the guys he was fighting, were they in their top prime? No, they weren't. T.O. was right about that. I think T.O. was wrong in not giving him credit, but T.O. was right about that. You look at a lot of Crawford's opponents at 147. Whether you think it's his fault or not, I don't think it's his fault. I think Bob Arum and this whole across the street shit had a lot to do with it. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of his opponents were not in their prime. They're not. They weren't. Amir Khan and Sean Porter and Kell Brook and he had some in there. What's his name? The one where he got dropped. And the guy that or the one that Virgil Ortiz beat. I always mess up the dude's names from the Middle East, Europe or whatever. But you know, there was a couple of them there that you know, I'm not shitting on Bud's resume. I'm just telling you, this is the, y'all want to, you know, we can nitpick, right? The difference is that Canelo went to 168, and in my opinion, he wasn't even in it. He, like I said, I fully, wholeheartedly believe the man was already declining when he went to 168. He'd been in so many wars, bro. You know, being a gym rat all year round, fighting all year round, it's good, but you need to rest your body. You need to rest your body. And as you get older, you realize that you actually benefit more from getting more rest. When you're 18 or 16, bro, you could work out for 4 hours, hardly eat, hardly get any sleep, wake up and do the same shit again. When you get older, you can't do that. You need to rest your body. You know what I mean? And Canelo is one of the most active fighters in the past generation. Definitely active. Now, he may not be active for the standards that a lot of us know, right? But he's active. And I don't think he's ever taken a proper rest. And so when he got to 168, like I said, I think he was already declining, not a lot, but declining. But like I say, even a declining Canelo, still one of the best fighters in the world. Now you take that and you take Crawford, right? Fine. You know, I give him all the credit in the world. 140 undisputed, right? 147. Yeah, he did knock out everybody, but not all those guys were in their prime, but he did. Let's give him the credit there, right? Boom. Moves up to 154, fights a guy with 10 fights and struggles, right? I think he won the fight. A lot of y'all in the chat was telling me, nah, Shadow, he lost. I said, no, I think he won. I think he turned it up. The one thing I give Bud Crawford credit for is he's got that mentality where, like, if you hit him, or if you hurt him, if you drop him, if he feels like he's down, bro, the man's gonna take it to you, bro. All right, there's no way in hell he's gonna do what Jamel did. I mean, literally, I would be shocked if I see Canelo hurt Bud and Bud Bud's not gonna do that. It's kind of like why I got him losing, because there's gonna be a moment in the fight where I feel like he might, and I think it's going to go the distance, but I'm just saying, let's just say one of them, let's say he gets dropped. I feel like he's got that mentality where he's like, nah, fuck, nah, you do, like, I'm going to get it back, right? Virgil Ortiz has a mentality like that. I think Jerron in his boots has a mentality. Even Tio has a mentality like that. You saw he came back and tried to knock out Kambosos, right? People want to get on him about that, but he almost stopped that man, all right? Certain people have that mentality, and I feel like that's why he'll lose, But even with that said, like, people look at what Canelo did with Skull, and then they go, "Oh, well, I'm gonna change my mind now." Oh, wait, Crawford looked taller than him, bro. He was taller before the fight. Like, y'all know the tail of the tape. Oh, because he looked big, bro. He's been preparing for almost a year now. That's another thing too. This is why I feel like it is dangerous for Canelo. Now, the flip side, I was talking about this the other day, and I was thinking about this. There is a good possibility, bro. And I know some Canelo fans don't want to hear this, but it's the truth. I mean, look, I'm calling it down the middle, bro. I think Bud is dangerous because of, you got to add some things up, right? Let's throw age out, bro. All right. I think both of them past their prime. I think Canelo might be younger, but still with more wars. Put it like this: him nor Bud is in their prime. Okay. So let's put that. All right. But they're both exceptionally in shape. They both live this shit, right? So Bud is one of the few fighters that I feel like when he locks in, you know what I mean? Lock in. He locks in better than anybody, right? And where his advantage comes from is, and I think Tycho, I was looking back on my lives, Tycho had said this. Tycho was like, yo, I hope Canelo's not like overlooking him. But if you remember before all this shit, when Canelo was on the Sway Universe interview or whatever, right? And they said, oh, you know, the Turk wants you to fight him. And Canelo says, oh, is he going to pay? And this is after the Madrimov fight. And Canelo was like, hey, yeah, I saw his last fight. Because I don't like the fighters that move around a lot, right? And the reason why he said that is because of the skull thing, right? People took that out of context too. Look, he's admitting he doesn't want to fight. No, he's telling you that he doesn't want to chase somebody. That's what he means by that. He doesn't want to chase somebody. He wants to entertain the fans. He wants to fight, not rock'em sock'em robots, bro. People want to be always on the extreme and flip shit. If you say something, they're like, Devin needs to throw more punches. Well, you just want him to stand there with his hands down and get, you know what the hell I'm talking about, bro. Stop being stupid. Stop being stupid, all right? The man needs to engage more. He's fighting like he's terrified. All right? So when he said that Bud isn't moving around much, right? He's basically saying he thinks that Bud will stand there and Canelo's like easy money, right? But then when the fight starts becoming a reality, did you notice something? Did you notice that Crawford carries on like it's usual? Meaning like all Crawford is talking about is Canelo, bro. Interviews, he's on X, right? What was it like? What was real telling to me was about a couple of months ago. I forgot what the hell was going on, but something was going on. And they tried to insert Bud into the conversation. It had to do with Canelo. I think it had to do with Canelo and David, or when David was going to fight Morrell. I don't know what the hell. But I do remember Bud going on X saying, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm fighting Canelo later this year. Right? He made it clear. I'm fighting Canelo this year. Meanwhile, Canelo's walking around carrying on as usual, right? Like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll fight you, whatever. But I got these 2 dates that I always keep. Canelo keeps those 2 dates every year, right? And I noticed this, like, so Bud is going to be later on. Canelo just moving around like normal, like, okay, brother, okay, you want to wait for me? Fine. All right, you could wait for me. I don't do the waiting shit, bro. I'm carrying on as usual. I'm going to fight Skull. And I noticed that, but meanwhile, Bud, he don't got to worry about nobody. And this is why I said I know it's a cash out for a fact, because Bud had every opportunity in the world to take another fight just like Canelo before this fight. But he didn't. Why? Because 2 things. He wants to stay locked in, and he doesn't want to lose and possibly lose the bag, similar to something like with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right? They should have never did what they did on March 2nd. That should have been their rematch. All right? That May 2nd, or I think, I'm sorry, the card in New York. That should not have been Ryan Garcia and Rolly, Devin Haney and Ramirez. T.O. is fine. He could have stayed on the card, right? That should have been Ryan versus Devin, the rematch. Nah, but they want to get greedy. They want to try to do whatever. And look what happened. Now, some people don't even want to see the shit after both of them put up performances like that, right? So Crawford don't want to take that chance. Crawford doesn't want to take any fight in between. He just wants to worry about Canelo. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. For me, that's dangerous because Crawford is one of the few fighters that, bro, you give that man a year, bro. You give Terrence Bud Crawford a year, maybe even more. You tell him his opponent. You tell him he ain't got nothing to worry about, whatever. Like, all he's going to do is focus on that man. But I still don't think it'll be enough. I still don't think it'll be enough. I don't, you can't calculate how you're going to feel when you're that heavy, bro. You could try to simulate it right now. Yeah, he's walking around heavier. I'm pretty sure right now he puts on gloves and he goes to the gym and he's like, shit, I'm already what? I'm already like what? I'm already 150 something, 150, almost 160. All right, yeah. Okay, I'm feeling, I know how this feels. Bro, it ain't the same, bro. It ain't the same. It ain't the same when you're about to go 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, bro, who's been fighting in this weight for a long period of time, went undisputed, and in my opinion, became an undisputed champion in that weight class when he wasn't even in his prime. Imagine if he was in his prime. That's just my opinion. I think he started declining way before the Skull fight. You know what? Y'all didn't see the Ryder fight? I know he had surgery. I know, but you still didn't see like that wasn't the most dominant Canelo, you know? To me, the best Canelo, bro, I've ever seen was the one that fought Triple G. He was good. He was good with defense. He wasn't just throwing a 1-2 with a lot of power. You know, he had less steam on his punches, but he was quicker, threw more combinations, was more, I guess you could kind of say, kind of flat-footed slippery. If that even makes it flat-footed slippery, right? When he fought Daniel Jacobs and shit like that. And now, you know, he's getting older and now he just does the whole high guard thing. And I still think one of the best fighters in the world. So the only thing I give with Bud, bro, that he's got working for him, he had nothing but time. Refused to take a fight in between. So he's got nothing but time. Also, not that it means anything, but we all know that the Turk wants that man to win, bro. And I tell you what, man, how many of y'all think that fight's going the distance? I think it's going the distance. So if Bud just makes it competitive, just competitive, that might be all that's needed, bro. Even though it's in Vegas, right? It's in Vegas. Well, I don't even know if it's in Vegas now because you got the Turk changing shit, but regardless, it's in America. But anything with the Turk, just like any fighter that fights out of snack, bro, I'm going to look at you weird, man. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm not. I look at Victor Conti and I don't think that's an honorable man. That's an honorable program you're in. It's nothing to you. There's no shame on you. It's him. I'm not accusing Crawford of anything. I'm saying I know the Turk likes Canelo. Crawford. Tank tried to use that excuse, but Tank was when Tank said the interview where Tank said, "Oh well, the reason why I asked for 2 Ferraris to talk to the Turk when it came to Shakur Stevenson is because you know he don't said out his mouth that Shakur Stevenson is his man. So when he said he likes Shakur Stevenson, in my mind I'm thinking, well, if I don't knock him out, then I'm gonna lose. It's going to go to a decision. I'm going to lose. And I'm thinking in my head, you know why that doesn't sound right with Tank? Because Tank, everybody and their mama know if that fight goes 12 rounds, your ass losing on points, bro. You ain't going to outpoint Shakur. Everybody and their mama and their grandmama know, whoever don't even watch boxing know, that if that fight go 12 rounds, you ain't beating Shakur on points unless you knock him down numerous times, bro. So that told me right there that he wasn't confident that he was going to catch him and knock him out. But to be fair to him, he shouldn't have to just, if the fight goes a decision, it goes a decision, bro. But I just think that was more of an excuse. But I'm just saying, the Turk with Shiraz, when Shiraz was losing to I don't care what anybody says, Shiraz lost that fight. Adames. And we talked about this here. I don't think it was legal what he did. When he went up and was like, you know, I forgot what he said to him, right? People try to say, well, Floyd did the same thing. Yeah, but with Floyd with Tank, when Floyd did that with Tank with the whole Barrios thing, remember when he said, yo, you're down in the scorecards, not the actual scorecards, but the scorecards here, right? People try to say, well, look, Floyd did it. Right. But from my understanding, and you know, when it comes to the actual rules and shit like that, like I'll admit, I'm not so much business minded in certain things and the whole crazy shit with the sanctioning bodies. You know, I know more of, I'm just more of like the fighters themselves. I've never been the business type, you know what I mean? But from my understanding, there's only a certain amount of people that's supposed to be in that corner, right? And prior to the fight, they have a form or they know who those people are, right? Just like with Eubank Jr. and his father, because his father ran up to the ring. What round was it? I remember when I was watching it live, I was like, oh shit, his father ran up there, right? His father wasn't in his corner, but his father ran up to the corner and said something. That's because I think his name was part of the people that's allowed to be in the corner. And I think Floyd, Tank being his fighter. Now, I don't know if that's against the rules because of this whole, I don't know. Maybe he's not supposed to because he's promoter, or maybe his label isn't a promoter. But I know Turk as the promoter paying both fighters, paying everybody, right? The guy that's funding the event don't look right to me, bro. Going up in between rounds, telling a fighter like, you need to do this, you need to do that. It seems suspect. It just does. I'm not saying it even affected the fight, like, but look, it got called a draw. Who y'all think won that fight? Adames? You think Adames beat Shiraz? Do y'all really think? Come on, bro. Adames won that fight, man. Adames won that fight, and they called it a draw. And now the man's fighting Berlanga. and Berlanga, it's kind of funny because y'all know how I feel about Berlanga, but I really think he looks at Shiraz as food. I think he looks at him like, oh, look, this guy's moving up in weight. I already know how, bro. Remember, we've been through this on the Canelo buildup. I already know how Berlanga thinks, bro. He don't matter where he lived, bro. His vocabulary, his vocals, the way he talks, the way he walks is the typical New York Rican, bro. I already know that man's looking at Shiraz like, oh, well, he's moving up in weight. I'm bigger. I went 12 with Canelo. I already know that's his mindset. It's the dumbest mindset to have. It's the dumbest mindset to have, too. But Shiraz should have lost that fight. With Canelo and Crawford, all I'm saying is this, bro. Like, I still favor Canelo. But if anyone could do it, it's Crawford because he's had nothing but time. If he would have took another fight in between, if he would have took a fight like Canelo took Skull, if Crawford would have took, I don't know, even a tune-up. I don't know who could be a tune-up at 154 for him, right? But that it speaks volumes to me, bro. That speaks volumes to me. Because Canelo's walking around like, all right, I'll get to you. Shit, I'm still going to do what I do. You want to wait for me? Fine. I wait for nobody. I fight on this date. I fight on this date. If you around when that date, that's how it is. Like, if you around when that date comes, we'll talk then. Until then, see you later. Do what you want to do. You want to fight in between? Go ahead. I don't care. But I'm gonna carry on as business, right? And Crawford's like, no, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. That's dangerous in a way. Because I feel like Bud had all this time to like watch Canelo. You know what I mean? But I just don't understand why people look at the whole Skull fight and how all these people are changing their minds. Like that kind of threw me off. I've even saw what was it, Robert Garcia and a couple of other people. Like I said, T.O. and T.O. had the situation with them. They were going to be training him, and then they kind of like told him no and didn't even give him a reason. And we already know when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, it doesn't take much for him to start talking crazy about you, bro. I remember when HOD was up here and I told him, I remember when he was going to fight Jermaine Ortiz and Crawford was in the audience. And that's when they were talking shit to each other then. And then T.O. got off the scale. T.O. had made weight and got off the scale. And then the reporter turned around and saw Bud and asked him, yo, what do you think about T.O.? They were beefing back then. That's when he said this.
Saw T.O. weigh in. What you think about it?
Man, fuck T.O. Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
I was during the Jermaine Ortiz fight, right? And when the lady asked her, so like, what's going on with you and Bud, right? Like, T.O. was petty in a way. He was like, well, everybody, everyone's getting mad at me because I'm over here saying that, that he fought over the, every fighter he fought was over the hill or injured. Well, did I lie? And people don't see what he says to me. And she's like, well, what did he say? And he said that, when he beat Josh Taylor, because Bud was at 147 and T.O. had just beat Josh Taylor at 140. this is what T.O. said. I don't know. T.O.'s T.O. But he said that Bud put something up on X that said, congratulations. If I really feel like it, I could go down and get those belts or something like that, and then deleted it. T.O. said that's really that's really basically saying like, all right, if that's how you feel, then let's fight. And then, you know, what goes on from there. But with T.O. saying that about Canelo, first off, it's T.O. I don't put too much stock into anything T.O. says. I fuck with T.O. in the ring. Everything outside the ring, I don't know. The kid's a loose cannon. I don't know how he feels on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He feels different every single day. But I do think that it could possibly be because they were going to train him for the Barboza fight, and then they came out of nowhere and said, yo, we're not training you. And then he said that they didn't even give an excuse. But I think the excuse was, you want to know what I think it was? I don't know if y'all heard something different, but I'm just thinking about things. I'm like, okay, well, number one, Canelo was fighting the very next day, Skull, and not in New York. Wasn't it in Saudi, right? So maybe that had something to do with it. I mean, could he have trained T.O., Eddie Reynoso, and immediately hopped on a plane? Yeah. That could definitely happen. I mean, look, the Turk and Crawford was at the New York fight. And when they asked Bud Crawford, are you, so you chose to come to New York? Like, because, you know, he's going to be fighting Bud, or supposedly supposed to be fighting Bud. And the lady was like, well, we would think that you would be watching the Canelo fight, but you're here. And he's like, no, I'll watch the Canelo fight. She's like, oh, you're gonna. So he's telling you, read in between the lines, I'm here with the Turk, right? So as soon as the event's over, they got a private jet or plane, whatever. Boom, they go right back, and they made it there, did they not? But if Eddie Reynoso really wanted to do it, I'm pretty sure he could have did it. I don't know what the real reason is. For some reason, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the way T.O. acts is a lot of shit that goes wrong with him, bro. Like I said for months, all this promotion shit is a promotion. And all this shit that's happening to him, I said it was going to happen because we're not living in the same world. Live in a different world, bro. It's cancel culture. But maybe that's the reason why. But as far as these other guys saying, oh, well, now I got Bud beating Canelo, I'm thinking in my head, like, what did you see? Like, what did you see during a Skull fight that made you just suddenly change your mind? What? The man was evasive the whole fight. So like, what I'm trying, and then on top of that, like, I'm surprised because a lot of these guys are like trainers and shit like that, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, wait a second, you know, Bud ain't gonna fight like that. You know, Bud's not gonna fight like that. So why would that change your mind? And are you forgetting how Bud looked at 154? So I think a lot of this shit is just could be promotion. I don't know. Let me catch up a little bit. Absolutely, Hawker. Absolutely, bro. Bro, this is what I mean, bro. Like, it's shot. Like, I have a man. I think I've told you this, Hawker, before. I told somebody else, like, I believe I have a social condition. Like, I don't know what you call it, bro, but I think with everything that happened in my life with the military and my parents or whatever, I know that I became, what is the person that like I do well in settings with a lot of people, right? But with smaller settings, I kind of don't. It's very weird, but I believe that the way that I interact and the way that I socialize, it affects the way that I think, right? And I think I went over this in a live a long time ago. Like, a lot of the things that people can see, I won't see. People will be like, Shadow, you don't see that? I'll be like, no, I don't see. But I'm over here looking at things hardly anybody's looking at. You know, we was up here the other day, and when Devin, we were looking at the Devin and the Ramirez thing, right? I said it took me like one or two times, but I realized Devin, because when he started, Antonio Tarver said something like, "What's wrong with his feet?" And he did look weird. And then I went back and I noticed, oh, he's not using it. He's not using the Philly shell. Not one time. He's standing. He's not standing like this, how he usually stands with his shoulder. He's not standing like this. He's not standing like that. He's standing like this. He's got a traditional stance. And I've never seen Devin really with that stance. I mean, he might go in it a little bit here or there, but he was like that the whole fight, and he looked weird, just like when Ryan tried to do the Philly show. Remember, somebody from this chat called it the Victorville show. It looked horrible, but like I said, the normal things people look at, I don't see. That's why people look at me sometimes, and I know, like, even in real life, people might look at me like, "Oh, he's weird. He's not that smart," and that's not it. No, I am smart. I give myself credit. I'm not. I'm socially different, and I'm looking at things differently. And you might be here like, yo, I see that clear as day. I don't see it. But then I'll point out something that people don't see. I'm like that too when I watch movies. That's why I gotta watch movies by myself. Because I'm that dude that'll be like, you see that in the background? Look, that number was there. That number appeared in the first part of the movie. Like, I'm that dude, bro. You know what I mean? Don't watch a movie with me. But Crawford, I don't know. Why do you just why? Besides T.O., bro, I'm a little bit confused on why everybody's changing their mind now. Like, was his performance that crazy that people are? God, I saw a man that was being evasive. I already knew Canelo wasn't in his prime. That wasn't a shock to me at all. That wasn't a shock to me. I don't think he's been in his prime even when he got the 168. Yeah, at Triple G he was. And that's it. It very well may turn out to be ass, bro. It very well may be. And it might be one of those fights where I'll tell you this right now, before I even get into the fight, they better have a good undercard, bro. All this trouble y'all went through to get this fight. Do you know there's a lot of boxing fans that don't want to see this fight, bro? Do you know there's a lot of boxing fans that really don't want to see this fight? Because there's a large portion of people that already have it in their head. There's weight classes for a reason. But I'm not even on that side. You want to know what I see in this? It don't matter the outcome, bro. Canelo's going to look bad. I'm telling you that right now. Canelo's going to look, this is not, other than him getting money. I mean, to him, the money's all he cares about, right? So he could really, I honestly think Canelo stopped caring about what we think. The moment the whole David Benavidez thing, you ducking David, he don't care, bro. How many times have he said, in fact, it got to a point where the more people talked about David, the more Canelo avoided him almost. Remember, like I said, how T.O. is, if you tell T.O. hey, don't touch that, don't touch that wallet, and T.O. is like, what, this wallet? And he fucks with, that's how T.O. is, he's antagonizing. It's almost that's what Canelo was doing. Every time you ask me about David, bro, I'm not gonna fight him even more. Regardless if that's a good excuse or not. I don't think it is, but a lot of people didn't want to see this fight, and I think it's gonna end up bad, no matter what happens. I'm gonna tell you why. If Canelo wins, you already know what they're gonna say, right? Especially, you can expect this from a lot of the people saying that Crawford's gonna win. You guys already know more than I do. A lot of those guys are gonna turn around the next day and be like, "He fought a smaller guy," right? They're gonna be the first ones to do that. Now, on the flip side, if Bud puts up a good fight, doesn't look good for Canelo. Oh, look, A guy that used to be at 140, moved up to 147 and 154, skipped 160, went straight to 168 and gave him a run for his money, right? Now, Crawford is good enough that if anyone could beat Canelo and do something like this, it's him. Now, imagine if he beats Canelo. He was never that good. Told you the man's a fraud. Doesn't matter the outcome. If it's a boring fight, it doesn't look good for Canelo. But it's okay. Bud was daring to be great. Bud was daring to be great. That's what they're going to say when it comes to Bud. If Bud loses, Bud was daring to be great. Bud was daring to be great. No matter what happens, they're going to say Bud was daring to be great. Canelo was fighting a smaller man. Therefore, if he knocked him out, picking on a smaller guy, he gives him a good fight. They're going to be like, oh man, look at that. Look at that. Look, this man gave him this man moving. And then, oh, God forbid he beats Canelo. God forbid I don't know. Everyone's human. Just say he catches Canelo and knocks him out. I can almost guarantee that'll not happen, but it could happen. Do you know what they would say about Canelo? Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. No matter what's going to happen, he's going to the Hall of Fame. So all these guys in their head thinking that, oh, it's gonna ruin his legacy. No, it won't. No, it won't. But in the public's eyes, the boxing public, in today's age, just like how I knew what T.O. was doing wasn't gonna work for him because we live in a different world, it's the same way I see this. It ain't gonna look good for Canelo, bro. It's anything that happens. And anything that happens bad for Crawford is going to have an excuse. He was daring to be great, bro. Why don't you think, you got people that said Jermell was daring to be great, right? And Jermell ran. So he was daring to be great. You telling me Jermell Charlo was he just trying to get a check? Because daring to be great to me, and I'm not shitting on Jermell. Jermell, to me, has always been the better brother. I don't think Jermell ever got dethroned at 154. He was still rightfully undisputed at 154. He's still lineal champion at 154. Like, nobody beat that man. But you can't tell me the man was daring to be great. How? The man got hit and ran, bro. And that's another thing too, man. There's another thing too. I know you guys are starting to see this, right? This whole Turkey overpaying these guys is starting to backfire. It's starting to backfire. When it first started, when he first started putting on these fights, right? A lot of people were what we were seeing is we were getting certain fights that we normally wouldn't see, right? Regardless, whether it be they had issues with the promoters or whatever it may be, right? But money talks, right? Money talks. Like, do you think we would have got Jared Anderson versus McCauley at that time? Probably not. Probably not. Do you think we would have got Shakur versus Austin before he got injured? I mean, he was supposed to fight him. Do you think, like, probably not. We probably wouldn't have got Shiraz and Adames that quickly, right? And of course, he gave us Fury and Usyk, and he gave us the undisputed for 175, right? But he's putting on these fights, and when you have a lot of money like that, right? You see the fights, but then now you're starting to. At first, I'm seeing these guys; they're getting their money, and we're seeing who's better, right? We're seeing who's better. Sometimes it's a great fight. Sometimes it's a scrap. It's a 50-50 back and forth, right? Like Bivol and Better Beef. Good fight, right? No, Ortiz and Boachuk, right? That wasn't put on by the Turk, I don't think. But still, at the beginning, the fights were Usyk and Fury. They were kind of competitive, exciting fights, right? Joshua and Dubois and Frank Sanchez lost in an upset, right? But we were either seeing guys get blown out the water or we were seeing good competitive fights. But now what are you starting to see? Now what are you starting to see? Now you're starting to see these guys just show up and take a check. Now they're showing up. They're just getting a check. And that's it. They're not even, and it's starting to backfire. Now these guys are thinking like, oh, all I got to do is show up, get this check, and I'm good. And I'm good. It's starting to backfire, man. And you know, with Bud, man, it's a two-way sword. But like I said, bro, there's people that don't want to see this fight. So that undercard better be fire, bro. I don't know what undercard they have or what they've been talking about. Have they been talking about any undercard? I know it's on the schedule. I saw it's on the schedule already. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, but Hawker. I gotta chill, bro. Oh man. Hey, yo, I said this in my other live. It's true. It's true. I'm not lying. You know, when you subscribe to somebody, you could show whether you're seeing or not, like the visibility. There's an option. You could actually turn it on or turn it off. They have like software for everything. Like there's softwares that can tell you certain things that your analytics don't, right? So anyway, there's a software that I was taking a free, we get like the free month or two or whatever, right? But it shows me who subscribes and who doesn't, right? Now, of course, you could still lie and say you're somebody else. That's not the point. The point is, if you say you want to remain hidden, it unhides it. So if Hawker wanted to hide himself and then subscribe and unsubscribe and subscribe and unsubscribe, right? I could actually see him unsubscribing, subscribing, unsubscribe, right? You know what I mean? And every time I talk about certain fighters, bro, some of these dudes are so petty, bro. These are, I'm guessing they're adults, but they fucking live their life like kids, bro. Like kids. I talk about Crawford, the same handful of motherfuckers unsubscribe and come back about a week or two later. Just fucking leave, bro. Like a kid. What am I saying? What? This is true. Look at this statement right here. This is true. Canelo fought what? Was Skull a mandatory or whatever, right? I know Skull was a champion, right? Canelo still met his obligations and took care of a date, right? Why Crawford couldn't put a fight in between? I mean, these are you could, I mean, look, bro, your emotions mean shit to me, bro. Your emotions mean nothing to me because I'm gonna always keep it real. I'm probably one of the realest motherfuckers when it comes to T.O., bro. I'll go for him all day, but man, when he do stupid shit, I call the shit out. I ain't gonna sit here and co-sign some stupid shit. And the same thing when it comes to Crawford, bro. Why didn't he take another fight? Because he didn't want to gamble with the bag, right? But meanwhile, Canelo's over here, you know, fighting another champion, obligating, you know, taking care of his obligations with his dates, right? But of course, they're going to say, Hawker, he's daring to be great. And he's at the end of his career. So he don't have to fight anybody at 154. He don't have, that's what they're going to say, bro. That's what I'm saying. This is all, it's all going to be negative for Canelo, bro. Y'all can see that shit. Let's stop acting stupid. I hope it's not, bro. I hope it's not. At least give us a good undercard, bro. At least give us a good undercard. I'm hearing Boots is T.O.'s trying to get Boots. I'm not confident in that fight at all. At all. And it ain't with T.O. and it ain't with Boots. I'm not confident with Eddie Hearn. I'm not confident. This man, Boots, is a it took me a while to see, like, and I'm not saying Eddie Hearn's the only one, but I really see this with Eddie Hearn. Oh, I really see it. He's taken a lot of L's in the past year or so, right? With the whole Frank Warren thing, with the pay-per-views, and all his fighters keep losing. They keep losing, bro. All of them. All Eddie Hearn's fighters, they keep losing, right? And I know that's getting to him. And then on top of that, Boots is a commodity to him. Boots is like the next best thing, right? Even though he's older than what he should be right now, right? I mean, I mean, Boots had 30-something fights. I like Boots, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, name 5 guys that top guys. It's kind of hard, right? But Boots is like the next big thing for him. And I think any threat, he's going to be, unless it's a good money fight, I don't think he's going to throw him in there. Yeah, T.O. is a, bro, listen, bro, these guys could sit there and say whatever the fuck they want, bro. T.O. is a threat, bro. T.O. is a threat. I see right through the bullshit, bro. That's another thing too, Hawker. They would unsubscribe. You know when they really unsubscribe to me? When I clearly, and all I was doing is keeping it real. It was an honest question. It was an honest question because where I'm from, it's different. And I know we all are raised different, bro. We're raised different, bro. Okay. My culture where I'm from is different. Some things that I would do maybe would be looked at highly disrespectful where you're from. You know what I mean? And some things you do might be looked at highly disrespectful where I'm from. But then, you know, what's disrespectful over here, you guys look at it like, come on, man. Right? So I asked an honest question. 2 honest questions. When the whole T.O. and Crawford thing was going on, I said, well, I don't understand how like y'all saying that he pressed T.O. I don't understand. So you're telling me this man said some real disrespectful shit to you. And this man was on live saying, when I see him, I'm gonna break his neck, and did absolutely nothing. But because he said I'm playing, and he went in front of the camera and said I'm playing, like that's it. He gets, well, I'm sorry, bro, but where I'm from, bro, you know, when you do that, don't matter if it's business or not. When you say you're gonna do something to somebody, you do it, because if you don't, it looks bad. It looks like everyone's gonna look at it like, yo, Shadow said look. This dude went up, he said all that shit about Shadow and his moms and calling him a spick and all this other shit. And all he said, I'm just playing Shadow. And look, Shadow just let him off. He went on camera. So I asked that question, right? Then I said, fine, fuck it. Let's just say he did punk T.O. All right. Well, then how about this? A lot of y'all feel a certain way with what T.O. was saying, right? I feel a certain way. I don't like the shit that he's saying either, right? And then y'all over here saying he's a joke and Crawford would kill him in 2 rounds. Then that's an easy bag for Crawford, and Crawford is all about his money, and can't say nothing about when it comes to sales like, oh, well, T.O. don't sell. He never had a pay-per-view. No, it's the Turk, remember? The Turk pays for everything. The Turk don't care about no kickback. He didn't even promote the May 2nd card. So when I did those lives and I was saying I was at, bro, motherfuckers, they got mad in their feelings. I don't know what it is when it comes to Crawford, bro. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, bro. I'm going to always say what I feel, bro. If it's an easy bag, then it's easy money, right? What Floyd say? Work smarter, not harder. So yeah, T.O. is a threat to all these guys. You want to know why? Because there's been opportunities where these guys could turn around and pull his fucking card, bro. They could pull his card easily. Oh, you want to talk shit? Oh, you want to call me this? Or you want to talk? I'll go to the Turk right now and I'll put it out on everybody. We'll have the Turk online say, we're calling you out. We're sending you an offer, blah, 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 blah. Nobody did it. Why? Could have been real easy to make T.O. look soft and make him look like he's a duck. But they don't. So that's why. Mix that in with Eddie Hearn. All his fighters are losing. I have no faith. Like, he's going to have to get paid very, very well. Like Boots. And I don't blame him. As a promoter, I don't blame him. Boots, look, promoted right, promoted right, Boots is the next big thing, bro. Whether you like him or hate him, he's exciting. He's exciting. Might not have he's not the most charismatic fighter, like as far as talking, right? But people like a nice guy. Not everybody likes the all disrespectful, F your mom, I'm gonna kill you, right? Yes, it's cool. It's got its time, its place, right? But think about it. The real fighters that just came off genuine and nice always got a lot of push. Like people loved Pacquiao that he was a nice guy. You know what I mean? Boots don't talk a lot of shit. Boots is exciting, right? Boots can fight southpaw and orthodox. He's got a high knockout ratio. As the fight goes on, he seems like he gets more energy, right? He's exciting. So promoted correctly, yeah, he's the next best thing. He's the next big thing. And that's the reason why I got no faith in Eddie Hearn putting him in the ring with anybody that's going to derail that. And people could laugh all day when I bring up Tio. Go ahead. Like I said, people want to laugh, but why nobody pull his card, bro? I've never seen nobody talk so much shit and be so fucking offensive in my life where it even pissed me off. And the kid is at every fight walking around dolo. And the worst that ever happened to him is somebody put their hands around him and did a video. Like, come on, bro. I don't know where y'all from. I don't know where I'm from a different place, bro. I don't know what that is, bro. I don't know what that is. Fight the motherfucker, man. But I hope the undercard is good, man. I don't even know what we're going to see right here. Let me see. They did have Canelo on there with the schedule already. Canelo and Crawford. Because I saw it the other day. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Oh, my good. Gary versus Tio. Banging fight, bro. Banging fight. I like Antoine. There's a couple of fighters I actually felt I gotta get see how I get carried off. Like I'm looking up the schedule, but there's a couple of fighters I felt bad for. Like I did at one point feel bad for Rolly and what's his name? El Rayo. I mean, that's the way the dice rolls, bro. But I felt bad about that too. I mean, in a way, really, you can't really say anything, but it did kind of make me feel a certain way when Robert Garcia was like, El Rayo lost to De Los Santos. He lost to Chris Colbert. He had these fights and bounced back and trained very, very hard. And I had his training camps recorded too. I'd watch a lot of them. He's like, he done built his way back up and everything. And then he gets a title shot with Pitbull Cruz. And he beats him, And then right away they go up to him and they're like, fight Antoine. And I remember the interview that he had. He said to El Rayo, like, yo, that's a dangerous fight. Like, you just got the belt. Like, you don't have to do this, right? Like, you could basically, in so many words, bro, you could take a tune-up or just your last couple of fights, you just bounced back from taking L's. You took the rematch with Colbert, and then you fought, Pitbull or whatever, right? I guess that's what he was thinking. But then he's like, El Rayo had said to him, no, you don't understand. They're not giving me a choice. So almost like somebody wanted, I guess they wanted Antoine to be champion because, I mean, Antoine was going to beat El Rayo. He's not skilled enough. But that's the way the dice rolls, bro. It is what it is. It's not a nice sport. It's not a nice sport. But I know the world we live in is different. I know that. I know that for a fact. Oh, Boachuk is back. Okay. I totally forgot he was fighting. Richardson Hitchens is fighting George Kambosos. Oh my goodness, bro. That's my ASMR for the night. Y'all be watching ASMR? I use that to help me sleep when I can't sleep. I'm gonna put that fight on my ASMR list. Hitchens versus Kambosos. Help me get some sleep. Better than melatonin. Let me see. Cepeda and Shakur, bro. Hey, I'm glad to see that's not a bad undercard either, bro. Puello and Matias, that's a good undercard, bro. Berlanga and Shiraz. Yeah, see, this is a good card. This is a good card. And David Morrell's back. I like David Morrell. He took no time off, bro. Went right back in the ring, bro. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. You don't sit there and cry about your losses and sit there and sue people and, you know, nah, motherfucker just gets right back in the ring like a trooper. Like a trooper. Dubois and Usyk. That's a good fight. Yeah, they did it, huh? So they did make this official, huh? No way, bro. They did make it official, huh? I didn't think he was gonna do it. This is the official rematch date. I really didn't think he was gonna give him a rematch, bro. I don't be surprised if Tank knocks this dude right out, bro, in like 4 rounds, bro. Watch. All that shit. I know people got Lamont Roach in the back of the head, like, oh, he figured Tank out. All right, motherfucker. Why you he's still a hard hitter, bro. He's gonna catch him early this fight too, especially if Lamont feels comfortable. If Lamont has like a mindset like oh well, I did this to him the first fight, bro. It only take one hit from that little motherfucker, bro. One hit from Tank, bro. Put you to sleep. But yeah, they have the Canelo fight here. Hold on. Canelo and Crawford. Right here. See? And they don't have no the bout card. I click on it. Nothing. Oh, I don't know if you're joking or not, but yeah, don't do it, man. Don't do it. You could do something real productive with those 90 minutes, brother. You could do something. You could exercise. I don't know, watch a movie with somebody you care about. Call somebody, tell them you love them. Bro, you're going to want your 90 minutes back, bro. You are, if you watch this fight. Embarrassing ass shit. I mean, unless you want the quick compilation, you've seen it before, but I could play the compilation of it. It's only a minute long. Here's the highlights right here.
Devin still think a whole 30 seconds in front of the man ain't thrown nothing. He's so worried about not getting hit. I think Devin still think Ryan in there.
Are we still watching the hangover from the Garcia nightmare a year ago?
I don't know what we're watching right now.
Still having nightmares from, the rocket left hooks that put him on the canvas, counting the number of seconds it takes for a punch to be thrown. Maybe they're perfectly happy to let Haney do his footwork exhibition all night long and not throw punches. Maybe getting to the point of the fight now where he might need a baseball bat. We could buy him a bat or a tennis racket. If ever a fight was capable of inducing a snooze, this might be it.
I know nobody better not jump on the top rope.
That's it, brother. That's
a whole 30 seconds of.
That's the highlights for you, bro. All right, I done saved it for you. That's everything. That's everything that happened, bro. Ain't nothing was left out. Nothing. Unless you want to get some popcorn and laugh at the fact that Devin looking terrified as fuck. Oh my God, bro. Yo. I know what you guys are going to tell me right now. You're going to be like, come on, Shadow. Don't even pay the dude no mind. I don't. I think it's hilarious, bro. I think it's hilarious. I talked about him the other day because I mean, you ever see somebody do something and you think to yourself, like, do they really think that or is it a play? like it's fake, you know? I think it's that, bro. Because there's no way. There's no way you could really think that, bro. This dude, what's his name? The BTFB. He's been going around saying Devin the face of boxing. He did a live the other day saying his resume is better than Boots, better than T.O.'s, better than Ryan, better than Tanks, right? And ironically, every single one of them guys would beat the dog shit out of Devin. It's hilarious, bro. These dudes, bro, they really do think, bro. I don't know, man. I haven't been watching the boxing voice as much either. I don't got anything against them. It's just I saw something. Did y'all see? I saw something the other day that made me like, I don't know. Like I said, I see things with other people and it makes me feel a certain way. So I saw them getting on some guy that was on the boxing voice and Two Tone didn't like him or some shit. Then they all started talking shit about the guy and then I saw them do another live and Two Tone was like talking shit about the way the guy does his podcast or something, like trying to make it seem like there's a law in the way that you talk, bro. There is no certain way. Everyone is different, bro. Everyone is different, bro. There is no format. All right. I've never got my channel struck and YouTube say, oh, well, you didn't follow the talking format. No, bro. You say what you want. You do what you want. People watch, they watch. People don't watch, they watch. People subscribe, they subscribe. People leave, they leave. People hate watch, fine. That's their prerogative. You don't have to do a certain thing. They were criticizing this man because they were like making it seem like, because he wasn't doing certain things. I get it. Talking over people. Shit, I deal with that all the time with HOD. I overtalk him sometimes, in fact. But that's only because he overtalks me. So I understand when people, especially when people are in their feelings too. You got to remember, like, not everybody can let this shit roll off their back. Some of these guys, this is all they do. This is their life. You got to remember that. Some of these dudes, this is their life. This is it. Being on YouTube is their life, bro. So yeah, they're passionate about it. I think maybe a little bit too much passionate. It's why I don't go live every day. I don't want to get stuck in I don't know, call me old fashioned, bro. But I don't know. I don't want to live my life online, but it's kind of hard sometimes because when I have free time, I look at boxing, but yeah, I saw it. I don't like bullies, bro. I don't like bullies. Yeah, the Puerto Rican guy. And it ain't got nothing to do with him because he's Puerto Rican. I can care less. It was just what they were saying about the man. They were laughing at his voice and they were saying things like well, when you're doing a podcast, you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed. I'm like, okay, well, let's just say that's true. Okay, let's say that's true. If you have a format, right? Then why doesn't the boxing voice put that up there before they have anybody on? That's what I would do. If I had somebody on my channel and I wanted them to act a certain way, right? I would clearly put a format up on the screen or give them some sort of rules or whatever. Click a link with all the rules on there and let them read it before they go on. You can't expect somebody to just come on your channel and you want them to telekinetically act the way you want them to act. I'm pretty sure the man didn't know. I'm pretty sure the man didn't know certain things, bro. That everybody want to pick on him. I don't like bullies. And I don't like it when people don't keep it real. This is why I went at Nestor too. I don't give a fuck. Ain't none of these guys going to do nothing. I don't see people talk shit about people's moms and threaten people. And all these dudes are still alive. Nobody got stabbed and sent to the ER. Nothing. I've had people threaten me, say they're going to do something. They ain't do nothing, bro. Nothing. Not a damn thing. So I don't like bullies, bro. Yeah, I know. It's cornball shit, bro. And you know what makes it worse, Tycho? I like it when somebody keeps it real, and if somebody's like, "Hey, man, look, you know, let's just lay off the guy. Maybe he didn't know. No, that's not what they do. They all gang up on him. Everybody takes shots at him. Everybody wants to, it's like kicking a man when he's down. I hate that shit. I hate it when people do that, bro. Don't ask me to help you with your beefs when it's already 20v1, my guy. It's 20 of y'all. Y'all don't need my help, bro. In fact, you gonna make me go on his side, bro. Why y'all picking on him? I don't care if he's in the wrong. Why it take 20 of y'all? It's petty. It is, bro. So, and for real, Tycho, I think it's petty how they don't criticize Devin. I think that's petty too. You don't think it's petty? Bro, I criticize Tio more than I criticize most fighters, right? And that's because, like you said the other day, like I expect more out of him, bro. I'm not going to co-sign stupidity. I'm always going to go for him in the ring. And I'm always going to be upfront with how I feel, right? Why doesn't nobody tell the truth when it comes to Devin? Like that kind of bothers me too, because you're lying to the new fans, bro. Not everybody is like us, bro. Not everybody's like us and watch boxing all day. There's a lot of new fans that don't know about this sport. And you sit there and you tell them what Devin did was sweet science. And a new boxing fan is like, really? That? And I'll go back to watching UFC. That shit is corny as hell. I don't blame them. Because that's not the sweet science. That's not the sweet science, bro. Don't let them lie to you, bro. Don't let them lie to you. You want to see a real defensive fighter? Go look up Roy Jones. Go look up Winky Wright. Go look up Sweepy Pernell Whitaker. There's a lot of defensive fighters that would have knocked you in your shit. James Toney. Don't let these dudes make a mockery of the sport, bro. Hit and not get hit, right? Yeah. Well, you know what? Devin seems to forget the hitting part, bro. And then they do the whole extremism shit. The whole, trust me, I could be extreme. You know what I mean? In real life, I could be extreme. But these guys love, if you say, come on, Devin, you look terrified, man, fight. Then they go, what do you expect him to just stand there and just get hit with his hands down, rock him, sock him, it's hit and not get hit? You see how extreme they go? Yeah, bro, but the man's fighting like he's fucking terrified, man. And we're in the middle of New York and Times Square. This is a time to put boxing up on the map, bro. Not only are you embarrassing yourself, but you're embarrassing to your own fans and to the sport. You got people that are new fans and UFC fans that laugh at us when they see shit like this. They laugh. They go, that's your sport? Matter of fact, they were laughing. I watch a lot of UFC channels too. They were laughing that night. They were like, boxing had this, because, the Turk does business with the UFC as well. Don't forget, him and Dana White are going to be doing this so-called TKO thing. They were laughing at the card. They laughed at Ryan that he lost. They laughed at Devin because he felt like he was scared. Half of them didn't even know who Teofimo Lopez was. Hit and not get hit. Why don't you keep it real when it comes to Devin, bro? Come on, man. And this starstruck shit gotta stop. Man, I'll be looking at these men weird, bro. I don't know, man. I can't look at another man with a penis and act the way some of these guys do, bro. Like, okay, if it was a chick I liked, okay. If it's a girl that I love, okay, fine. Even that, I gotta chill. You know what I mean? But at least I have a good excuse. It's a grown-ass man you man fanning for, bro. You're doing shit for this man that like other people would only do for their wife. That is just suspect for me, bro. That is suspect, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You take some of these fighters and some of these dudes and turn them cameras off, and I bet you if the fighter was like, oh, you know, nobody will know. Really? Some of them, bro. Because the way they talk about some of these men, I mean, they won't say. I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy to me. Hit and not get hit. That's the sweet science, y'all. Imagine the new fans watching boxing, bro. Imagine the new fans that look at this. They're like, is this how boxing? No, that's not how boxing is. Don't let them lie to you. No, that's not what we do here. But why is he saying that's because he's a meat writer? That's why. He's gay. That's why. That's me explaining it to a kid that's watching for the first time. You got to explain it to him. That's not the sweet science, bro. Dude ran like he was terrified, bro. That was a good fight. They took it back from him too, right? Yeah, you know, it's kind of crazy because the night of the cut, you could see it was from a punch. Look, I don't blame Navarrete for saying, yo, it was a headbutt. What is he supposed to do, bro? All right. What is he's supposed to do that? He's supposed to do that. But I'm surprised they didn't see that. Like, they didn't have to do the decision and then turn it over the next day. Like, y'all couldn't see that from the, I mean, I know it was from a bad angle, but it didn't even look like the headbutt that they said. It didn't even look like it, like the punch you clearly see. It was right there. It was right there. Blood takes a second to squirt out, right? But that was a good fight, man. That was a good fight. What's going on, Puto? It is sickening, bro. And that's why I go at them too. That's why I go at them. You know, I'm petty for doing that too. I am. I know I am. I know I am. I know I am. I got to stop that shit, bro. But, you know, it's kind of hard for me, though. It's kind of hard for me because it's like, bro, I know the fuck shit T.O. does. I call the shit out, bro. But don't take the shit he does away from him, bro. Don't take what a man does in the ring away from that person, bro. I can't take away the shit that Devin has done in the ring, whether I agree with it or not, bro. I give him respect and the credit. All right. He beat Prograis one-sided. He dropped him. Okay. He beat Kambosos twice. You know what I mean? He beat Loma, even though people think Loma beat him, right? I give him his respect, bro. Now, I may question the timing of how these fights came about, and he magically fights Kambosos when there's an upset after TO, and he fights, you know, Prograis right after Prograis had a suspect fight with the guy that what was his name? The dude that almost knocked out Barboza, I think it was, but you know, Prograis looked a little suspect in that fight, and then he hopped on that. Who cares? That's just regular criticism. I give him all the respect in the world for what he does. So when I see someone just meat riding Devin all day and just disrespecting other fighters, bro, I'm gonna say something about your clown ass, bro, because you look stupid as fuck. And Devin was terrified, and every fighter you talk about to try to shame them, they would beat the fuck out of Devin. They would beat the left, the right. If there's any extra breaks, right off his ass, bro. I don't even fuck with Tank. You shouldn't even talk about Tank. Let Tank catch Devin's scary ass, bro. Knock his soul right out of his fucking body, bro. Dick riding ass, bro. Hit and not get hit. That's a mockery to the sport, bro. Tell Roy Jones that. R.I.P. Pernell Whitaker. Tell him that. Crazy as hell, man. Kind of. I mean, you saw how it stopped. You saw they stopped the blood right away. But still, it's a bad cut because it was, you know what I mean? It was early in the fight, wasn't it? It was under 6 rounds, right? And it was a 12-round fight. So you got to think about that. And you got to think about it's Navarrete. He's not gonna block, bro. That dude's he's trying to fight you, bro. That man forgets to block 80% of the time, bro. He's just all action, all action, no breaks, bro. All gas, no brakes. So yeah, I mean, as a boxing fan, no, I want to see them, you know what I mean? But I don't want to see it fuck around somebody lose their eye or something, bro. That shit could be, you start getting blood in your eye, and then you can't now you can't see even. Okay, you wasn't even blocking when you could see. Now you can't see, right? You getting shots from all angles, like, and these are professional fighters, and bro hit hard. It only takes one fight for a blood vessel to come, you know what I mean? Like, so me to be safe, yeah. The boxing fan in me, no. Let the fight keep going. But yeah, why you don't think it was a bad cut? It was a bad cut. It wasn't bleeding a lot. This cut man did good. Shit, if that was me, I'd have been bleeding, bro. I got sensitive skin. My shit would have been, you would have had to call it off right then and there. But yeah, nah, that's all right. Hey, Tycho, you still here, right? Let me ask you this, Tycho. Since we're talking about Devin Haney, let me ask you this, bro. You want to know what makes things so funny, bro? Right? So you got these handful of guys going around meat riding Devin, right? Trying to tear down Tank, tear down Tio, tearing down Jerron and his boots and shit. I mean, these guys would beat the fuck out of Devin, bro. Fine. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. You like him. You meat ride him. Go ahead. That's fine. That's all on you. But the truth of the matter is this, bro. The truth of the matter is this. That kid got nowhere to go. That kid got absolutely nowhere to go, bro. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. He can't. First off, he ain't gonna stay at 140. I don't even know if he can make weight at 140. Let's just keep it a buck there. But you know what? But let's just say he does, right? Well, we already know that Puello is gonna be fighting Matias, right? For the undercard, right? So is Antoine Russell got a fight lined up yet? I'm not sure. Tio, come on now. He's not gonna call out Tio. Barboza, that'd be I'd fall asleep. Hitchens, oh my goodness. Hitchens and Devin is like taking an overdose of melatonin, but I still got Hitchens beating him too, right? So then we move up to 147, right? And the best champion for him to get a belt would be Barrios. And I hate to say it, but after what I saw, I got Barrios kind of beating him, bro. Before the fight, I'd have been like, Devin wipes, he smashes Bar. Like, you know, Devin's skilled. Listen, I give him props for, like, you know, he's got speed. He's got, you know, he puts his punches together when he puts his punches together, right? But after what I saw, no, bro. No, you ran from a over the hill Ramirez, bro, who needs to set his feet to throw punches. So yeah, it was a smart game plan. You left every time he was about to set his feet, but you didn't throw anything back. And if he did that with him, he's going to do that with everybody, because he's not even a power puncher. Ramirez is a put him together pressure type of fighter. He doesn't knock you out with one shot. He's running for dear life from that man, bro. Then they try to throw a narrative on top of that. Before the fight, they were saying Tio was going to lose. Then now they're shitting on Barboza. Barboza had no punching power in them. Well, first off, we knew he wasn't a power puncher prior to the fight. But these same guys were saying that Tio was going to get outboxed and all types of shit. And Tio outboxed the fuck out of him, bro. Made him look stupid. Had Barboza dizzy. He didn't even know when to throw a punch half the time, bro. Barboza landed 2 good punches that fight. And I don't even know if those 2 punches were enough to give him that round. But I gave him that round anyway. So it's 11-1 sweep. What else you going to say about Tio? Oh, it was a boring fight? Okay, what about Devin's fight? What about Ryan's fight? They were all boring. The whole card was boring, bro. The whole card was boring, which is why they should have never had Ryan and Devin on separate fights, bro. That should have been the rematch, bro. Straight rematch. Yeah, y'all didn't have to do all this. Y'all fucked everything up, man. Now you know why Crawford don't want to take a fight in between Canelo, because of that shit. You lose or have a bad performance, bro. People are gonna they're gonna be like, oh, but where's Devin gonna go? I mean, look at some of the fighters here. Rocha, Barrios, Brian Norman Jr., Jerron Boots Ennis, Rolly. I mean, he might be able to beat Rolly, but he's gonna have to seriously move like that for 12 rounds, which we know he can. Especially if Devin gets in track star condition, track star Devin, oh yeah, he could do it. No doubt about it. I don't want to see it. If he moved back down to 140, it's probably even more dangerous. So he should, you know what he can do though? This is what I said the other day. And I know people might get mad at it, but it's the best way for him to keep boxing. In my opinion, look, and I'm being positive. I'm being positive with that. I think the best thing to do is either decide whether you want to retire because you've made enough money, right? You've made enough money. Bill and Devin did good. They did good. Right? You could retire and put your time into your fighters, the handful of fighters that you have, right? Or take your name, right? People, regardless of what people say, people do know who Devin Haney is in the boxing world, right? You could try living off your name for the next couple of fights and fight some catch weights like you did with Jose Ramirez. Instead of 147, 140, 144, 144 and a half, 145. You could do that. The question is, do people want to see that? That's the big question. And who's going to fight on your card? Like, is it going to be the main event? Undercard? Okay. At this point in Devin's career, he's got to really think, bro. Bro, you're not a main eventer, bro. Not after that. I'm sorry. Like what? Like I don't even think like Ryan's name and status could probably help him out in a main event, but even him, his next fight, like, and we know Ryan can do a lot better. That performance hurt him. It did. So Devin, I don't think he could compete at 140. I'm just look, prove me wrong, bro. I don't think you can compete at 147 nor 140, but you can. You can take your name, whatever name you have, and get some fighters to fight you in these little catch weights, bro. Ryan was doing it. Can't get mad at Devin for doing it, bro. Ryan was the king of that shit, bro. You really can't get mad for Devin for doing that, bro. If anybody was the king of catch weights, it was Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia went from 135, then he fought at like 138, then he fought at like 143, 142, where he fought Fortuna like at 140, like catchweight city, bro, and did it because it was Ryan. Devin could do that too. Like I said, the question is, who's going to fight you? Who's going to want to fight you? And where are you going to put it at? And is it going to be the main event or not? Like, these are factors you really got to look at, bro. I saw a man terrified, man. I saw a man terrified. Do I want to see Ryan and Devin rematch? I still do, in a way. I really wish I could rewind time and make that fight their fight. They should have just had that rematch, bro. They really fucked things up, bro. And as a boxing fan, I'm upset with the card because I feel like that was a perfect opportunity for us as boxing, bro. That shit was cool, bro. I like that. Out in Times Square, right? Cars going in the background. That shit was iconic, right? They didn't even walk up to the ring. They all came in a vehicle. Tio came in a New York City cab. Rolly came in something. Like, I like that, bro. That shit was cool. And Virgil Ortiz was there talking about, yo, we should do it. I'll fight at Alcatraz. Like, that stuff is good for boxing, bro. But you got to put on performances, bro. It's got to be memorable. because Turk had to go through all these permits to shut down the block and everything. And you could tell they didn't know what they were doing because they couldn't even follow the damn schedule. The schedule was off. I was live and they were not going according to what they said they were going to do. They were late. And then according to the people that were there, they didn't know. Everyone was like, so he's not going to do that again. It's a waste of money for him. I mean, the Turk likes wasting money, but still, you got to put on a performance, bro. I don't know. And Tio and the Japanese kid had the best performances of the night, and they weren't even that good. Tio, I am biased towards Tio, but it wasn't an exciting fight, but he did outbox Barboza. There's no question about it. How many rounds you gave him? I gave him 1. And like I said, the 1 round I gave him was based off 2 punches, which is really technically not how I'm supposed to score a round. I just want to give Barboza something. The Japanese kid had a good fight. That was his first fight. And respect to that kid, by the way, bro. Respect to that kid for asking for an actual dangerous opponent for his first fight. I respect that. I really do. But look, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, I couldn't sleep, so I just wanted to do a quick live. I know I probably went over what I did. I'm waiting to get my new microphone in the mail anyway, bro. But I gotta try to lay down for a bit or something. I don't want to mess my whole sleeping schedule up. Is there a fight on today? Like a good fight that I could stream? Because I'm not streaming just any fights anymore, bro. I'm not doing that anymore. It's gotta be worth it for me. Hold on. This is today? Hold on. Let me share the screen. This is today? Yeah, Boachuk's fighting. I mean, he's exciting, but I thought that was Mikey Garcia, bro. The dude, he looked like Mikey Garcia. Not the Garcia, the dude to the left of him. I thought that was Mikey. I was like, damn, he's back. Hold on, man. I want to go to all fights, not just that one. Wait, let me get out of here. I don't like Box Live. Let me go over here. Boxing scene. No. Who's got the best schedule? Is it Box Rec? Damn. And I guess that's the only one. All right, I'll just go with this one. All networks, not just Amazon Prime. Every time I click on Amazon Prime, bro, they don't never have a look. Amazon Prime horrible, bro. That shit is horrible, man. They're giving us a fight here and there, here and there. I mean, I will say this. At least when they do give us a fight, it's a kind of a good fight. But come on, like look at this crap right here. Just like I said, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia should have fought straight for the rematch. They should have not have fought separate fights, right? Now look at what they're doing right here. Caleb Plant smacked Jamal Charlo last year. Smacked him right in the face. They should be fighting. But no, they want to put on Caleb Plant on the main event, Jamal Charlo versus these 2 other guys. And now watch, one of them might lose. Then that'll jeopardize. I mean, it ain't like people are really calling for the fight, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no reason for us to build this up. We already know Caleb Plant don't like Jamal. Jamal don't like Caleb Plant. They should have been fought. You don't got to do all this. You don't got to remind us. That's the shit I'm talking about. What the hell, bro? There you go. Yeah, it's a bunch of meh fights. I mean, some of them are good fights, but as far as like stream worthy, oh man. All right, bro. Hey, y'all have a blessed night, man. Blessed morning, whatever.